TSM. The Zven and Mithy rumors kind of died down for a bit. They were originally linked to maybe coming to TSM, and now it looks like they actually are. Some people are saying maybe it's not a huge upgrade but over Biofrost and Doublelift, but I feel like it is.
Yeah, I mean, look, officially teams can't sign players until tomorrow.
Right, nothing is official.
Right, but all these reports now, it's come from multiple sources saying that Zven and Mithy are going to Team Solo Mid, replacing Doublelift and Biofrost. Of course, that raises a couple issues. One, that's the 2 import slots taken up. Bjergsen is an NA resident, so that's not the problem. But Svenskeren is, so he's going to have to be replaced. But the issue with him is that apparently his bio is massive. So some teams are going to have to put up a lot of money to get Svenskeren off of TSM and onto their team. But regardless, it looks like TSM is going with that European bot lane. And like you said, are they better than Doublelift and Biofrost? I would say significantly, yes. I mean, people often sleep on these guys because they've been so solid for so long in Europe with G2, with Origin. But as a duo especially, it's so strong. And you bring in Mithy to be the main shot caller in his team, give Bjergsen a break. All of a sudden, his workload is a little less. He can focus on dominating the mid lane like he used to before he took on more of a shot caller presence. When you get a new jungler, we'll get to some of the guys who have been mentioned, and I think we both know who it's going to be probably. We've also heard some things going around, but I think it's a great move. And then another question is where will Doublelift and Biofrost go, but we'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah, and I think with Zven and Mithy, if they're coming over, I mean, maybe it's not even a huge upgrade, but TSM obviously had to do something. They had to change something with the roster. So bringing in 2 guys like that who already have established synergy and chemistry over several years now. They've made some noise at Worlds. They've dominated the EU LCS for a while now. So I think just bringing them and planting them right into the team, I mean, you don't have any real issues there. They both speak English, which is always a positive for TSM. So, whew, depending on who they get in the jungle, yeah, this is a pretty insane looking team, but don't get too hyped. Don't want to get too hyped too early.
No, I mean, you don't, but when you look at their entire roster, all of a sudden, it looks pretty star-studded. You got Haunter in the top lane, and there's a guy we're looking at in the jungle.
Oh,
there's been talks of MikeYeung going to TSM for a long time.
They're heating up now.
Yeah, I know. Now they're heating up even more. Now that you have Zven and Mithy, it has to be a local guy. And TSM's not going to settle for someone unproven, even a guy in the past, like a Medio, something like that. And it looks like MikeYeung will be the guy. I'm sure it'll be announced sooner than later.
To be fair, he might be a little unproven. He's basically had not even a full split.
Sure, he's unproven, yes. But look at all the guys who are proven on this TSM roster. Everyone else. This is an all-star team. Haunter, Bjergsen, Zven, Mithy. You throw in MikeYeung, who has the ceiling to be an undeniable talent in North America, and all of a sudden, TSM, we've talked about how their roster has looked so good in the past. This might be the best it's ever looked, and obviously, after last year's Worlds, or a month ago, they need to do something different. And this is a big change. TSM saying, you know what, we're going all in here. The start of NA LCS franchising, you bring in Zven and Mithy, the best bot lane duo from Europe, pair him with MikeYeung, a guy who's got undeniable talent, and I think they might be on the way to something great.
Yeah, and now the thing is, we've seen TSM bring in these massive changes in an offseason. When Doublelift and Yellowstar originally came on TSM, that was actually their worst regular season finish that they've ever had in the LCS. So sometimes these things don't work right away, and I mean, there's going to take time to develop the synergy. I mean, look at the synergy between these 2. Look how happy they are, and
now
they're gone. They're probably gone. Doublelift tweeting out today the triple question mark, which had people in a frenzy with the picture of him in the trash can after he had left CLG and went to TSM. So speculations can go wild in terms of that, but I mean, he's got to know, right? If he's off the team, you'd think Reggie and the guys on TSM would be like, oh, by the way, goodbye. You guys are off the team. So I'm sure he knows to some extent what's going on. In terms of Svenskeren, maybe no teams want to sign him. Maybe TSM keeps him and just puts him on their academy team. I believe the rule is you can only have 2 imports in your starting roster. So you could hide him on the academy team. I don't think Sven would like that very much. I don't know what he could do about it, though.
At the end of the day, someone's going to have to come along and take on this massive buyout. And I'm sure teams are interested, but then again, when the price tag is that big on a guy who may not have had the best performance, I still think he's a good jungler. But you look at his split last year, he got thrown under the bus a little bit. Teams might be saying, do we really want to spend that much on this guy? And that's also an import slot. So that's the only issue. Otherwise, yeah, they could throw him down there, but it's not going to be, he's not going to love it too much, I guess. And you can't just sub him in and out because you already have the 2 imports in that bot lane now. So it's a difficult situation for Svenskeren. But I'm sure someone will eventually get him, whether it's in Europe or North America. I think someone will pick up Svenskeren, especially after some of these other guys get picked up. And the team's kind of left scrambling, being like, well, now we're screwed. Let's go get Sven.
Yeah.
As for Doublelift and Biofrost, 2 guys now out there.
That's a hot commodity, man.
Yeah. Will they stay together? Will they go to different ways? Who knows? I know all of a sudden people are like, is Rush Hour coming back? Because there's also some CLG news. Not very surprising, but we'll touch on that later on, where there's scenarios, I guess, that they could reunite. I don't see it happening.
I don't know if they want that to happen.
Exactly. I don't think Afro specifically would love it, because we all know the history between those 2 guys. But Doublelift, a huge commodity in the AD carry position. I'm sure teams are looking at it, but it's not just a free agent thing. His contract goes past 2017, as does Biofrost. So they're still under contract. So just like Svenskeren, they're going to have to be bought out, transferred, something like that to switch teams.
And I think a guy like Svenskeren, yeah, people are saying he underperformed, didn't have a great split. But, I mean, just look at a guy like Mithy last split. He was good on CLG. I wouldn't say he was great in his last split that he was there. And then he comes on to Immortals. His chains are broken, and he's free to do whatever he wants on Immortals. And look at that, he's one of the best junglers in NA. Maybe Svenskeren, when he's freed from the chains of TSM and can take off his handcuffs that are attached to Bjergsen, he's allowed to roam freely. Maybe you see a different jungler and more of that aggressive Sven that we saw earlier on in his career. So who knows?
I hope so. But the question is, I know some people are like, well, if MikeYeung's a TSM, won't he get the TSM chains as well? I don't think so, because this team is all of a sudden so different, and they'll have a different shot caller, a different priority. Zven and Mithy will, demand a bit of attention too, alongside just playing get Bjergsen going. All of a sudden, the triple threat thing. I know Doublelift is still a threat in that bot lane, but when you have the main shot caller in the bot lane too, it affects how things are played. So Mithy will bring a different play style, hopefully loosen up MikeYeung in the jungle, let him play his aggressive style, and not turn him into another ward for Bjergsen, as we know the memes go.
Yeah, the problem is there'll probably be all 3 lanes wanting jungle attention. So that's always rough as a jungler when everyone's like, gank my lane, gank my lane, gank my lane.
At the same time, he should be winning lanes.
There should be some winning lanes there that helps him out a lot, which wasn't very used to on P1.
No.
So assuming MikeYeung is going there. Again, TSM, pretty limited options now that they have to go for a domestic jungler, and they're going to try and get the best of the best. And if you're a guy like MikeYeung looking at all the options, is there really a better option in NA than an opening on TSM? I can't see that happening. And they'll throw a lot of money. So TSM, if MikeYeung heads over there and they get Zven and Mithy, I mean, you could argue they have top 1 or 2 in every position in the NALCS. So that'll be pretty insane. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more esports content.